You're in the trenches once again with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics. And time for keys to the game against the Kansas City Chiefs. What a football game this is going to be on Sunday. I am really looking forward to this one. Two outstanding quarterbacks. And in my mind, obviously they're going to have a huge impact on the outcome of the football game. But I think it's going to be which quarterback, because they're both outstanding in this regard. When the play breaks down, both Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow have an innate ability to get out of pocket, extend, and create plays. And I call it controlled chaos. It's chaotic because it's not really built into the structure of the play. It's an ad lib after the play breaks down. So it's chaos. But which quarterback is going to be able to control the chaos more, make plays, and avoid big errors, big mistakes? In my mind, that's going to determine this football game. If the quarterback that takes care of the football is going to win this football game, there's no question about it. And I think when it's the play breaks down and trying to extend and create a play and make a play, that fine line of making a play or forcing it and resulting in an error, which quarterback's going to be able to handle that part of it? Because they're both outstanding. It's going to be a big, big factor in this football game. Just in general, as always, takeaways. I mean, turnovers. It's going to be a big deal. Protect the football. How about the Kansas City Chiefs? Ball security. They've had 23 fumbles, which is tied for fifth most in the National Football League. Lost 12 of them, tied for the most in the National Football League. Defensively, their defense does a great job of punching the ball out. They will create fumbles. You got to hold it high and tight, man. This one's all about ball security. They forced 24 fumbles, tied for third most in the NFL. They recovered 13 of them, second most in the NFL. So they've had their fumble issues, but boy, they've caused a lot of them as well. So the Bengals really going to have to make sure that you two hands on that football if you have to. And both quarterbacks have had their share of interceptions, but they've both lessened them as the season's gone on. They've both gotten a lot better in that department, and they're not turning the ball over as much. The 8-game winning streak that the Kansas City Chiefs are on, Patrick Mahomes is not trying to score 100 points in a quarter, make big play after big play. He's taken what the defense has given him more. And Joe Burrow has been doing the same thing. The Bengals don't have a giveaway in their last two football games, the 2-game winning streak that they're on. So far, at this stage of the season, 9 wins for the Cincinnati Bengals, 5 giveaways in those 9 wins. 6 losses, 16 giveaways in those 6 losses. It's so obvious. It's as plain as the nose on your face. Have to take care of the football. And in this football game, it's going to be hugely important, as always. Field position is going to be a big deal in this football game. The Bengals have to put the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes on long fields, make him run more plays, increase the percentage that an error will be made. If the Bengals can get some short fields and put the Kansas City Chiefs on long fields, that's going to be a big deal. And that takes us to special teams. The Kansas City Chiefs are 4th in the National Football League in punt returns, 1st in the National Football League covering punts, 6th in the NFL returning kickoffs, 5th in the NFL covering kickoffs. They are outstanding on special teams. So, average drive start. What yard line are the Bengals going to start their drives on an average drive start basis? 10 possessions. If the Bengals can start at their 32-yard line and have the Kansas City Chiefs start at the 22-yard line on their 10 possessions, that's 10 yards times 10 possessions. That's a football field of hidden yards, 100 yards of hidden yards on an average basis per drive start. That's what Darren Simmons, first and foremost, what was the average drive start differential? Did we win the field position battle? Did we put them on longer fields than we had to be on? It's going to be a big deal in this football game because both of these offenses are amazing. The Bengals scored on 7 straight possessions last week, 7 straight possessions against Baltimore. They never punted. The first 7 possessions of the game, they score points. The Kansas City Chiefs are capable of doing that as well. This is going to boil down to who makes a stop or two. Who stops the opponent's offense? I'm not necessarily saying a 3 and out, but a 3 and out would be great. But both of these offenses operate at such a high level of efficiency. A takeaway, a turnover ends a drive, obviously. That drive ends without a kick, a punt, field goal, or extra point. Make a stop, make a few stops. That's going to be big. You can't let the Kansas City Chiefs go down and score on every possession and think that you're going to outscore them. Got to defensively, you have to step up and make a stop or two. And offensively, you have to take advantage of every opportunity, particularly when you get in the red zone. The Cincinnati Bengals this year, in the beginning of the season, actually most of the season, were very, very efficient in the red zone. They're in the top 5 in touchdown percentage in the red zone. Here in the last few games, they've fallen back. They've not done as well in the red zone, settled for field goals. Can't do that against the Kansas City Chiefs. They've gone from top 5 to 16th in the NFL in terms of touchdown percentage in the red zone. This football team, Kansas City Chiefs, score points. You can't settle for 3 in the red zone. You got to put 7 on the board. Don't settle for 3. Another interesting matchup is what a protection pressure matchup that's going to be going on. The Kansas City Chiefs offensive line is really gelled. They went out in free agency and got a couple of guys. Orlando Zeus Brown at left tackle and Thuney at left guard from the Patriots. And then they got 3 rookies starting at center, right guard, and right tackle. And they've come together. They've gelled pretty well. In fact, they're protecting their quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, real well. They've only given up 27 sacks, tied for 7th fewest in the league. The Bengals defense, headed by Hendrickson, has 41 sacks, 7th most in the National Football League. Hendrickson has 14 of those sacks. Hendrickson on Orlando Brown. Pressure. Will the Bengals be able to break down the protection of the Kansas City Chiefs? Will they be able to pressure Patrick Mahomes and get him off his spot? And when you do pressure Patrick Mahomes, and if he does get out of pocket, make him go to his left. Patrick Mahomes is a right-handed quarterback. When he rolls to his right, he can throw the heck out of the football on the run. Right-handed quarterback rolling to their left, throwing back against their natural arm motion is a little tougher to do. He's still very talented at doing that, but you have to get the shoulder squared around and throw the football. It's much tougher to do going to your left than your right. So any advantage that you can get, you take. If you can force him out of pocket left, I would do that for sure. Who wins the explosive play part of things? Both of these football teams are capable of making big plays. Joe Burrow, at this point in time, is amongst the league leaders in the National Football League in that regard. He's got 13 plays of 40 yards or more, second most in the National Football League. He's got 55 plays of 20 yards or more in the air, 4th in the National Football League. He's making some big-time explosives. Patrick Mahomes can do the same thing. Who is going to win that explosives battle? And part of it comes down to tackling. A lot of times it's yards after catch. You got to be a sure tackler, get them on the ground. Tyreek Hill, Kelsey, those two it's a 1-2 punch that's as good as there is in the National Football League. Tyreek Hill can take the top off of defense. Kelsey can work the underneath portions of it and really hurt you. Just like last week, they had Hollywood Brown, and Mark Andrews, the Baltimore Ravens. They had the guy that could take the top off the defense, and Mark Andrews, the tight end, working underneath. So that was a dress rehearsal for this football game. They get the same thing again. Tyreek Hill, big play potential, and Kelsey can do it as a tight end. He's as good as any tight end in the National Football League. And the Bengals have had their difficulties this year defensively controlling and containing tight ends. So they're going to have to do as many different things as they can to take Kelsey out of the football game. Double him with linebacker safety, double him with 2 backers, double him as many different ways as you possibly can, because Kelsey's a big factor in this football game. Another key in this football game for the Bengals is to try to strive for some balance offensively. The Kansas City Chiefs are giving up 4.7 yards per rush defensively, 30th in the NFL. People have hurt them in the running game. If they can get some kind of a running game to support Joe Burrow, it could go a long, long way. the Kansas City Chiefs, there's no doubt that they're a throw-first football team. There's no question about it. Their running game is they throw the football to set up the run. And the Bengals, to a large extent, do the same thing. But whoever can be most balanced, I think, offensively, whoever's running game is concerning the defense more is going to have a leg up in this football game. Will the Bengals be able to control the Kansas City Chiefs running game by going with a light box and playing coverage and not loading the box up? Will the Kansas City Chiefs be able to control the Bengals running game by going light box and playing coverage, trying to take care of all the receivers that the Bengals have? It's going to be an interesting chess match. Who's going to be able to get their running game going to balance their offense out the best? I think that team gets a leg up in this football game. Those are some keys to this football game, and I can't wait. This one's going to be a classic. Kansas City Chiefs, Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday. A couple of hours after the football game, we'll be doing a live stream. We're going to have some giveaways for you as well. So please join us. Look forward to catching up with you a couple hours after the game.
At First Star Logistics, we're a very strict company that really puts the pressure on our employees. Breaks? What are those?
That's what I'm talking about, Icky. Get the body right, then the mind's right. You know,
gotta get that body right.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Become a star with a chance to earn the highest commission percentages in the industry as a freight broker agent. Check out FirstStarLogistics.com.